Have you ever wondered why Oreos don't taste like chocolate? They look like chocolate. The actual Oreo cookie, it looks chocolatey, but does it taste like chocolate? Not at all. So why doesn't an Oreo taste like chocolate? It's because of the cocoa powder they use. So I'm gonna show you different types of cocoa powders today. We're gonna talk about what the difference is, which one is good for what, and then, of course, we're gonna get into a recipe, a quick and easy recipe using the exact same cocoa powder that Oreos use, which means that the recipe we're gonna make is cookies and cream based. So get ready, let's jump right into it, and let's talk about why Oreos don't taste like chocolate. And if you're new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let's get into talking about some Oreos. These are the 3 different types of cocoa powders we're gonna talk about. I have had these 3 cocoa powders for a long time. These are the 3 I use. Depending on the recipe I make, I choose which cocoa powder I want. But I'll talk about exactly why I do what I do. And then we're also gonna try each of these 3 cocoa powders side by side because I've never done that before. I've never dry scooped cocoa powder. So 3 different types of cocoa. You got your natural cocoa, your natty cocoa. If you go to the grocery store, 99% of grocery stores only carry this cocoa powder. This is the normal cocoa powder. If you have cocoa at your house, this is probably what you have. Then you got your Dutch processed cocoa, AKA dark cocoa, AKA special dark Hershey's. A lot of brands make this. This is just Dutch processed cocoa, but darker. And we'll talk about the differences. Just give me a sec. And then we got black cocoa. Oreos are dark in color. They don't look like chocolate. They are really, really dark. And that is when you use black cocoa. This is the stuff they use in Oreos, but let's talk more about what exactly cocoa powder is first. So what is cocoa powder? You got your cocoa beans, right? You take those cocoa beans, you remove all the fat, all the cocoa butter is gone. And then you're left with cocoa powder. So the same way you take peanuts and you make peanut butter with a lot of fat, or you take all the fat out of the peanuts, take that peanut oil, put it to the side, and you get peanut flour or peanut butter powder. That is similar to cocoa powder. So you take the beans and you got chocolate, or you remove all the fat, and then you got cocoa powder. Who would have thought powdered peanut butter is just like cocoa powder? Okay, obviously it's not the exact same, like a peanut and a cocoa bean are different things, but you get the point. Get rid of the fat, turn it into powder. You got this. You want the fat? Go get some cocoa butter. Regular cocoa. Ooh, that smells so good. Like, this smells like chocolate. If you look at this, it is light brown in color. It is super chocolatey smelling. And then you got your dark cocoa. Smell it. It smells a lot less chocolatey, but it looks a lot more chocolatey. It's darker, but it doesn't smell anywhere near as chocolatey. So weird. And then you take your black cocoa and you smell this, and it doesn't even smell that good, honestly. Like, it's really dark in color. It doesn't smell very good. And it does not smell like chocolate at all. Like, if I close my eyes, smell this, I'm not guessing chocolate. If I close my eyes and smell natural cocoa, I want a chocolate bar. Why would we ever get these things when we want cocoa powder for the chocolatey taste? Well, you got your cocoa beans, right? And you give them a wash. You give them a wash in a special solution. Just think about it like soapy water. You take the beans, you're giving them a wash, and the more you wash them in this special solution, the more this happens, and the less this happens. So basically, you're getting rid of the acidity in the beans. You're making them taste less chocolatey, but also less acidic. Have you tried regular chocolate that's not sweetened, or regular cocoa powder? Like, it's bitter, it's acidic. If you want to mellow out that acidity a little bit, well, dark cocoa. You want to mellow it out a ton, which is exactly what Oreos do. Black cocoa. So yes, if you're a professional baker and you're getting to baking science, and yeah, you want to talk about how the acid reacts with the freaking lemon juice in your recipe and all these other things, well, yes, then it is very important what type of cocoa powder you use. Like, if you use regular cocoa, it's gonna react with baking soda. But if you use dark cocoa, then yeah, you can't just have it react with baking soda, because baking soda needs an acid. Like this cocoa powder, like lemon juice. Instead, if you use something like dark cocoa powder or black cocoa powder, you use something like baking powder, because that does not need an acid to create bubbles. It already creates bubbles by itself. But we're not worried about that, right? We just want to talk about the taste of the cocoa powders. And if you're making something like, I don't know, a frosting, ice cream, something that does not require bubbles and baking and science in the oven, then it doesn't matter what cocoa you use. You just want the right taste. So let's try all these side by side, dry. Did you ever think you would watch a guy on the internet eat cocoa powder with a spoon, dry? Today's the day. So let's try all of these. I got 3 spoons because I don't think I should double dip a licked spoon in cocoa powder. So we'll go natty to least natty. Yes, there's processing involved in this. This gets processed into this with that special solution I was talking about. This gets processed into this the same way. And if you're worried about the word process, like, are you growing your fruits and vegetables in your backyard, or do you have a freaking steam bag in your freezer? Process does not mean bad, okay? But regular natty cocoa. Jeez, what the? Wow, that was not enjoyable. I thought I would actually like that for some reason, but that turned into the cinnamon challenge. What the? Okay, that is so bitter. My mouth is just, it's like I squeezed a lemon in there, but without the lemon flavor. Like, it's so acidic, it's bitter. There's really nothing a little black coffee won't fix. Maybe I should drink water because I'm comparing these side by side and I don't want the taste of black coffee in my mouth. Jeez. So, very bitter. Yes, chocolatey, but very bitter. That was nowhere near as bad. Yeah, it's acidic, but it's kind of enjoyable. That kind of tastes good to me. Like, I can go back to that. I can take a little spoonful. I mean, obviously I'd rather have a freaking chocolate bar, but it's good. It's not bad. Jeez, did my voice just crack? What the heck? Embarrassing. Less chocolate flavor, but also a lot less bitterness. Like, this thing hit me hard. This, it's not that bad. I could easily do that again. Let's go black cocoa. That is weird. A lot less chocolate flavor. It's not bitter at all. Like, I could have a big spoon of this and I would be fine. But the flavors died out a lot. It literally tastes like an Oreo cookie. It's that same flavor. It's not chocolatey, but it's good. It just feels like cookies and cream. So cookies and cream is not chocolatey. This is not chocolatey. It's very similar to cookies and cream in terms of flavor. Let's say I'm making a recipe and I want a lot of chocolate flavor. I want that hit of chocolatiness. I'm using natty natural cocoa because it just packs a punch with chocolatiness, but it is also very bitter. So I'm gonna have to sweeten things a lot more. If I want that chocolatey taste, but just not like a hit of chocolate, but more of like a, yes, this is chocolate, but also this is not very bitter. Then I'm gonna go with dark cocoa, and if I want that cookies and cream taste, so I'm not talking about chocolate here, because cookies and cream does not taste very chocolatey to me. Like, have you had cookies and cream ice cream? Does that taste like chocolate ice cream to you? No. Does it taste like a chocolate chip to you? No. This is what I'm gonna go with. What is the flavor of an Oreo? Whatever the flavor of an Oreo is, whatever the flavor of cookies and cream ice cream is, minus the sweetness, is this. Anytime I'm craving Oreos, anytime I'm craving cookies and cream, anything around that line of flavor, I'm going dark cocoa because that stuff literally tastes like an Oreo. And this is why Oreos are so dark. This is why Oreos don't taste like chocolate. It is because they're using black cocoa. So that is all about cocoa powders. No, this video is not about all the science of baking and how much less baking soda you need to use and why you need to follow recipes to the perfect detail, because if you switch black cocoa with natty cocoa in a recipe and then you add baking soda and all of a sudden no bubbles happen in the oven and then you have a flat cake instead of a nice big puffy cake because you used the wrong cocoa powder and everything's a mess. This is about the taste. And they all taste good. Very acidic and bitter, not acidic and bitter, very chocolatey, not very chocolatey, all good. Depends on the recipe, depends on your taste, depends on what you're in the mood for. Let's compare the ingredients. Is there a difference in ingredients? Yes, there is. A little bit. How to know what cocoa powder you have? If it doesn't say on the front, which it should. But let's say you have a box of cocoa with no label and all it says is the ingredients. Look at the ingredients. If it just says cocoa and nothing else, ingredients, cocoa. That means it's just regular natural cocoa powder. If the ingredients say cocoa processed in alkali, that means those beans got a real nice rinse in a solution to get rid of chocolatiness and bitterness. It's a scale, guys, it's a spectrum. You don't just go this, this, and this. You can get super dark, you can get in the middle, you can get a little bit dark, maybe kind of more than a little bit dark. And that's why both of these say cocoa processed in alkali, because they are processed in alkali. Nutrition. All 3 of these per 5 grams, which is 1 tablespoon, is 10 calories. So let's make an Oreo cookies and cream inspired snack. And guess which cocoa powder we're gonna use? This one, of course. I'm kidding, guys. Black cocoa, of course. Do you think I'm using a measuring spoon, guys? No. Grab yourself a bowl, because we are making a frosting. The first thing we're gonna need is pudding mix. You can use whatever flavor you want. White chocolate, cheesecake, butterscotch, vanilla, chocolate. Use whatever flavor of pudding mix you want. I'm using white chocolate because cookies and cream, Oreos, white chocolate. It sounds right. Go 1 serving, 1 tablespoon, 7 grams of cocoa powder. 1 tablespoon, 7 grams of pudding mix goes into your bowl. Next up, you need some sweetener. You can use any sweetener you want. It does not matter. Straight pudding mix, it's literally like putting a chemical in your mouth. It tastes good, but it's weird. It gives you a weird feeling. But if you use sweeteners, any sweetener, does not matter which one. You can use sugar if you want, but I care about calories and keeping them as low as possible. So I'm gonna use 2 packets of artificial sweetener, a pinch of salt. Give this one of these. Yes, you can mix it with a spoon, or you can take your bowl and just do this. And then you take some Greek yogurt. 1 serving, 3/4 cup, 170 grams goes right in. Oh, by the way, quick tip, I should have done this, I should have been smarter. If you don't like that watery stuff that comes on your Greek yogurt, all you have to do is every time you use it, after you're done using it, just take your spoon and make it flat. If you flatten it out, it doesn't get water. But if you just take a spoon, take a big scoop out. If you take up your spoon, you take a big scoop out, and there's a huge hole in it, that hole will get filled up in water when it's in your fridge. I'm making a mess, oh my God. There's Greek yogurt on my floor, there's Greek yogurt on my counter, there's Greek yogurt on my t-shirt, and no Greek yogurt in the actual bowl where it's supposed to go. So 170 grams goes right in. This is optional, so it's up to you if you want to add this or not, but I like a little bit of vanilla extract. I know Oreos are not vanilla-y, but I like a little bit vanilla extract. Just a little squeeze, and then you mix. I've been mixing for like 5 minutes, okay, but it's worth it. You want the frosting to be like this. You turn your spoon upside down and you just wait, okay? You wait. Above your head, does not matter, it won't fall, and that's when you know it is thick. Put it in your fridge and let it sit there until you're ready for the next step. And I know you're thinking, where's the black cocoa powder? You said it's gonna be cookies cream, you said it's gonna be an Oreo snack. Well, it's coming, guys, okay? Just wait. But until you're ready to eat, put this in your fridge. You want at least like 30 minutes in the fridge for it to really get thicker. I am back from the grocery store with rice cakes because I ran out at home and I need to go get some. We got these rice cake thins. These are the exact same things as regular rice cakes, but they're half as thin and half the calories, so I can have more rice cakes. Instead of having 3 thick boys, I'm gonna have 6 thin boys. These are 22 calories per single rice cake. Look at this consistency. That is how thick it is. It is thick, it is creamy, it is tasty. Each of these, 30 grams of frosting. Look how thick that frosting is, see? The rice cake almost slipped out of my hand, but the knife stuck to the frosting and held it together. So that is the real thickness test. If your rice cake slips out of your hand, will the frosting stick to the knife? Or will your rice cake fall? And you're probably wondering, like, where is the cookies and cream? You said this was gonna be Oreo inspired. This video is about why Oreos don't taste like chocolate, and you literally have Greek yogurt frosting on some rice cakes. Like, what is going on? Guys, this is where the Oreo part comes in. Black cocoa powder. So you do not want to mix the black cocoa powder in your frosting, because then texturally, taste-wise, everything's just the exact same. A sifter. Did I make these perfect? No. Do I want to make these perfect? Absolutely not. Some, I want a little less cocoa powder. Some, I want a little more cocoa powder. And there you have it, guys. Is it an Oreo? No. But is it a cookies and cream Oreo inspired snack where you get 6 rice cakes for calories and macros will be up on the screen? It's pretty freaking good, guys. I like the ones with extra cocoa. That black cocoa powder, I'm telling you, it's magic dust. It's Oreo dust. You got the crunch from the rice cake, you got the creaminess from the frosting, and then you got that dust of black cocoa. If the black cocoa was in the frosting, it wouldn't be the same. You don't know what you're getting. Like, you take one bite. Whoa, I just got a lot of frosting in that bite. Not that much Oreo taste. What about that bite right in the middle? Ooh, Oreo just came and slapped me in the face. I just got hit with a bunch of black cocoa. This one, the crust. Not that much frosting. More rice cakey. Still good. Maybe you're more of a frosting person. You don't like a super cocoa-y taste. Go light. A sandwich. Close your eyes. Did someone just put an Oreo in my mouth? I'm kidding, guys. It's not that good. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hit that like button if you like learning about black cocoa powder and Oreos and why they don't taste like chocolate. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in the next video.